Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about other remakes or remasters. So, recently, as a lot of video game gamers, people that watch YouTube, probably know about Link's Awakening getting a updated, enhanced version of it for the Switch. Now, we don't know if that's going to be a one-to-one remake or if it's going to be maybe modified to be a little bit different of a game. So, with that in light, and, Pokemon also coming back with the Pokemon Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, having kind of a similar thing where they took an old Game Boy game and made it into an updated version to sell it full price for the Switch. What other games would I like to see them take that initiative with? And maybe a few that I'd like to see other companies kind of do the same thing with. So, yeah. Let's, see what we got. Okay, so let's start off with Game Boy. I have a couple Game Boys and a couple Nintendo games that I'd like to see redone. So first, I'd actually like to see them do like, because unlike a role-playing game or an adventure game like Legend of Zelda or Pokemon, taking a Game Boy game and putting it on the Switch for full price may not seem like enough content. So what I would like to see them do is do a Super Mario Land All-Stars. So kind of like what they had for the Super Nintendo, where you could play like Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3 and Lost Levels with updated graphics. I'd like to see them do that with the Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. So Super Mario Land 1, 2, and Wario Land, which is considered Super Mario Land 3. I'd like to see them kind of take those games, put it in an all-star pack for the Switch. Obviously for $60 is what they'd go for. And update the graphics to kind of look like, maybe new Super Mario Bros. Wii U. Probably better than that. But update the graphics to be more in-depth like they did with the Super Mario All-Stars. Better backgrounds, new designs for the characters, make everything just pop for today's world. And by putting all three on one cartridge, $60, that's a lot of gameplay. You can play the first game, which is only 4 levels, I believe, and then the next game, which is kind of like a Super Mario World game, and then Wario Land, which just expands on it even more. I think that would be a good way to revive an old series. Now, what I'd like to see on top of that is I think this is where Nintendo might want to go with their NES online service. Add Super NES online, add the Game Boy online. So give us a bunch of their good games for their online service for free. But then take those games that are some hits or forgotten relics, update them, add a little bit more to it, or make the game a little bit different, or however you want to look at it, and sell it for $60. So now they take their, Game Boy game that they're giving you for free, which at this point would give people more hands-on with the game, and then take the game, remaster it, add new textures, new graphics, new design, whatever you want to call it, and then release it as a $60 game. Not all games will work for that. That's why I think something like Super Mario Land, you make it a bundle pack. All 3 games, $60, updated graphics. And then you could also maybe in the future they do the Game Boy Online and you get these games for free, but they're just the old school graphics. I think this will allow people to play some of the old classics, but with a new take on it. Maybe you keep all the games the same with just new graphics, but then maybe, with the bonus features, not saying with Super Mario Land, you add more levels or like a hidden world or something just to expand on the game a little bit more. To give it an incentive for people that have played the games multiple times, a way to buy it. So, Super Mario Bros. Land 1, 2, and 3 all have their regular games with updated graphics, but each one has like a star world, which, further enhances that world and new things to it, just to kind of give you as a bonus pack. Now, I don't think they should just do this with Game Boy. I think the NES could deserve this chance for Nintendo too. And I think a couple of them could be from another company. So a lot of the NES games are hard, can be long and short. They're all over the place. But some of them are classics that people would love to play. I know Sega Ages is kind of doing this, or Sega's kind of doing this some of their games where, they sell them in a bundle pack, the original game, or they sell the game separately with some added features, or like Phantasy Star, and they're moving on a couple other games. I think other companies should jump on board. One of the games I'd like to see is, it's never really come back in a way to keep the franchise is still going on here and there, but it's never really captured the past to me. Maybe there's a game I missed or something, but Contra. I would love to see Konami come back with, like, I guess we'll call it Contra All-Stars. Contra for the NES games come out for the Switch, or any console. It doesn't have to be the Switch, but come out, update the graphics to be even more in today's world, but keep the game the same, but come up with new graphics, and then maybe have like a harder mode or an easier mode for people who've played it multiple times or who've never played it, or maybe save features, or maybe you can play a mod hack that they've done where there's new weapons they could add into the game. So you play the regular game with new graphics to make it look today's world, but still play like it was the NES, or a hard mode, or a mode with new weapons to change the way the game feels, or a game with, some bonus levels to kind of like make the game longer. I think that'd be cool. Another game I'd like to see, which I don't think $60 would be expensive even with an update, but maybe it adds like a new adventure mode to the game, or they add like more levels, but it's kind of a nostalgic classic. I don't know how other people feel about the game, but Kung Fu. I love Kung Fu. And yeah, the graphics are a little dated, but update the graphics, give it a cool backdrop, maybe, add some new music, but also give you the ability to like switch over to the old mode. I think Nintendo should definitely jump on board with offering us the free games, but then, taking those classics and adding some more stuff to it on top of what they're doing with the SP, but by adding like updated visuals like they're going to do with Link's Awakening, like they did with Pokemon. I think there's tons of games that could be easily added, more than I can think of off the top of my head. These are the few that I looked at my library back here. I was like, that would be awesome. And I think other companies should jump on board, and instead of just porting their game right over $5, maybe add some bundles that, add those extra features. Now, not every game can be one game $60. Maybe add the features and it's $30. $60 is a little high, but if you're adding like, an all-star pack with a bunch of your games, yeah, I think that'd be cool. A cool new way to experience it. I think RPGs would be the ones that benefit the most. Imagine if Phantasy Star came back out, but looked like, I wouldn't say I would want it to look like a Skyrim game, but imagine if they came back out and they made the game more into a 3D world and you could explore with a little bit more in depth. That's interesting. All right, guys. That is all the games off the top of my head that I saw real quick that I'm like, oh, I'd love them to do that, like the Link's Awakening. Would I want the same art style? No, pick any art style you want, but a new art style in today's world, kind of like what they did with the Wonder Boy series, Monsterland. That one had a cool like drawn art style. That's a good take on, taking an old game and bringing it into today's world to kind of like make the game playable again for new people who just can't look at the old games sometimes. I like the old games, but I also like seeing new takes on it. I prefer not 1-to-1, or at least give you the option to play 1-for-1, but then have like a special edition mode that adds new things. You really can't win. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about Link's Awakening having an update, and what games you'd like to see kind of follow that direction after Pokemon and Legend of Zelda's gone this way now. Alright guys, have a good night. Keep on gaming. Don't forget to like, share, and check out my other videos. Thanks guys, have a good night, and see you later.